hear me?
Everyone can hear you. What's
Okay.
up, guys?
Hi.
Oh, man, I'm so freaking excited.
I got my wish.
Yeah, now Melissa doesn't have to be on camera. But, guys, this is the first episode ever. Actually, before we kick off, because I'm trying to get everything squared away perfect, please let us know. Does everything sound okay? Does everything look okay? Anything I need to correct before we kick this thing off? Because this is going to be an awesome show. I'm super excited about this. This is something I've been wanting to do. Actually, not for a super long time, but whenever I thought of it, I like instantly thought, oh my God, why hasn't this been done yet? And freaking everything, ideas were just flowing like crazy. So, all right, everybody says it sounds good, looks good. Awesome. Thank you so much. First and foremost, a few is it housekeeping or house cleaning?
Housekeeping. House cleaning. We're not doing house cleaning.
Okay, housekeeping stuff. Want to thank all my Patreons, my Patreon supporters.
Yeah.
They're freaking awesome. They're what helps this whole thing keep going. So you can see all my Patreons, a list of them in the description. If you want to be a Patreon, it's a way to be able to get a hold of me. I do respond to my Patreon messages. I don't respond to all my social medias because there's absolutely no way I can do it. But huge thanks to those guys. Also, huge thanks to CowRC. They are sponsoring this show for giveaways. It's a giveaway sponsor because we will allow actual sponsors in the future. So if you guys don't know, I actually was a podcast host originally. I started the On the Tone podcast. And one could argue, I'm going to argue that we were the first RC racing podcast out there. I did it hardcore for like 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, something like that. And I guess I just lost interest. I don't know why we really stopped, but we stopped. But we never took any like sponsors or anything like that because we wanted to keep it where we could say what we wanted to. We didn't want to have to like basically hold ourselves back. It was a very raw podcast, so raw that I'm glad a lot of the earlier episodes are no longer on the internet because they were hard to watch. It was really bad. Anyways, where I'm going with this is we're not doing that with this one. This one's going to be clean. This is going to be strictly RC car bashing. It's not going to be racing. We're not going to do anything specifically other than talking about the cars that make up 90% of our hobby, because it's not racing. It's not crawling. It's not drifting. It's not any particular genre of RC. It's like the RTR world, the Traxxas cars out there, the Arma cars out there, the new Losies, all the different RC cars. Obviously, I play with all of them. There was nothing out there that talked about all the different RC cars. So that's what this podcast is about. And we will have show sponsors, hopefully. And then we have giveaway sponsors, which CowRC is a giveaway sponsor. Now, the cool thing about tonight is we're doing 2 giveaways tonight. Actually, no, we're not doing 2 giveaways. We're doing 1 giveaway tonight, but we're doing 2 giveaways. We're going to do 1 giveaway to a live listener, which is going to be an awesome prize by CowRC. And then we're going to give another giveaway to someone who watches afterwards, because I get it. Not everyone can join live. I wish you guys could. But if you're watching or listening and you're not live, you will still have an opportunity to win something. You just have to be following me on YouTube, because you'll have to win it on YouTube, because that's where I want everyone to go. I'm a YouTuber. So anyways, that's a lot of housekeeping stuff.
And the Patreon giveaway.
We're going to do a Patreon giveaway. So on the giveaways, we're going to announce them. We're going to do them. But I'm not going to stop the show, because if you're watching live, or if you're watching, because this is a podcast, if you're watching after we're live, no one wants to sit there and listen to us like say names and joke around and see us win wheel spin, right? So the way you're going to see the giveaways are going to be happening as we're doing the show, but the show is going to be awesome because I got a lot of good stuff to talk about. So first off, how this whole thing started, no joke, I went on vacation for 7, were we gone 7 days, Melissa?
7 days.
7 days. I was gone 7 days last week, and no RC, nothing, completely disconnected. And I had major withdrawals. I was like, oh my God, everything I saw was like, I want to drive my X-Max. I want to have a crawler. I want to jump that. Like, I should have brought something. And then Melissa was like, yeah, you probably should have brought something. Like, oh, now you tell me. I thought I was disconnecting. But I truly love this hobby, guys. I've been doing this for over 20 years. And for the last 3 years, 4 years of me being a YouTuber, I've been going like hard, like new cars all the time, driving stuff like nonstop. You would think I would be slightly burned out. No, not slightly burned out at all. So on our way home, we did a road trip. On our way home, I was like, let's listen to a podcast. And I was like, no one freaking has, there's not, I don't see like, maybe there is a bashing podcast, but I didn't see one that had a lot of followers. And I was like, you know what? I should start an RC bashing podcast. And that's when I was like, that's it. That's what we're doing. RC car bashing podcast. And this is where we're at. Yeah. So, yes, the RC industry is maybe 90 is pretty high. I would say at least 80% RC bashers. Believe it or not, tough pill to swallow. I know some of you racers out there, some of you crawlers out there, like, no way. It's the truth, guys. It's the truth. There's no car that sold more than a freaking T-Max or a Slash or any of those like RC10s, like any of those bashers out there just that were designed to just be general RC cars for people to have fun. Those were the ones. So, yes, please, Diecast said, please don't forget to smash the like button. Also, super chats, greatly appreciated. These, again, this is all just us, me and Melissa prepping and doing all this stuff. All that stuff's greatly appreciated. It's like tipping your waitress or your waiter. So I greatly appreciate anyone who does that. Your name will pop up on the screen. You'll be able to ask whatever questions. I'll definitely be able to see it. I'll give you a shout out, whatever it is. So, excuse me. As I'm looking in the corner, because I have an agenda. So to be clear, what this is not, again, a racing podcast. I know originally I'm a racer. I had to swallow a tough pill, and I admit that I'm more of an RC basher. I was originally a racer. I still like racing, but I really like RC bashing. Like this weekend, there's a race at Indy RC World RC Pro Series. I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I think I would have just as much fun if I knew I was driving a couple of the new cars that I have downstairs. So maybe I'm more of a basher, but this is not a racing podcast. It's not a crawling podcast.
I think you might talk about it every now
we'll
and then,
talk
right?
about it. I'm not saying we'll
RC.
stay. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying we'll stay away from it, but we're not going to focus on that.
Yeah.
What I really want this to be is like you walk into the hobby shop, you meet someone that also has the car that you have, you banter, you talk about what you did with it, you talk about what you want to do with it, you talk about what you saw on the internet. That's what I want this to be.
Yeah. I
want it to be that kind of conversation, right? So we're going to have different guests. Tonight we have Josh Head. I met Josh for the first time at an MSM drag racing event. So we do ready to run drag racing. It's a lot of fun. We'll go into that later. But I met Josh there, and Josh he's a true enthusiast. And how I know that is we're over there drag racing. Most of us are drag racing. During his races, he's out driving his Max. He's out driving whatever he brought. He brought a ramp with him in his car. Like he is like maximizing all his time just driving RC cars while we're driving RC. I'm like, dude, this guy loves it just like me. And when I saw that, I was like, man, I could talk to Josh all day about the different cars he has. I like his opinions because his opinions are very unbiased. He's got maybe there's companies he likes, but he's got no loyalty. He's just a consumer just like everybody else. And it's going to be fun to scratch his brain or pick his brain on RC cars. So we're going to have him on tonight, but he's also an interesting guest because he's also an influencer in his own hobby, which he has another hobby where he does flashlights. And believe it or not, there's a huge flashlight following out there. So we'll kind of get into that. We'll talk to him about that. And then we'll just talk about RC cars. So sorry, I went really, really fast there.
I think you covered all the grounds though.
I did. I covered a lot.
Questions.
Yeah, seriously. We can throw some questions in real quick.
Yeah, because we'll have some time, while talking with Josh, some questions there, and then at the end, of course, we'll try our best to kind of keep an eye on the comments. But I think you've got a pretty full agenda. So
yep, you can't see Melissa. Melissa's behind.
Thank goodness.
Strict producer.
No.
I'm not going to be typing. I'm not going to be doing anything. A huge thanks to Melissa. This is going to be a lot of fun because she'll be able to watch the comments and be able to put comments on the screen and do whatever. I'm strictly focusing on the conversation. So yeah, that is what this is going to be about. I got so many cool topics. I know we want to do a new, like, I want to do one episode where we talk about like some of the most heated conversations I see in like comments. Like the people who are Traxxas fanboys versus Arma fanboys, people who are like living in the other stuff that don't like either. Like those are going to be such fun topics, and like I could listen to that kind of conversation all day and be like, no, like that's what I want. That's what I want out of this, right? I want people to be engaged and have fun, and we're open to everyone's opinion. I don't want this to be a drama thing. Unfortunately, whenever I did the racing podcast on the Tone, it was like the only big podcast were the ones that we talked a lot of crap, and I don't want that. That's not what I want to build. So,
well, that's the element of competition.
Oh God.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we ate buffet right before this. That was probably a bad idea, but we did.
It was a healthy buffet.
A healthy buffet? Is there such thing as a healthy buffet? All right, so we're gonna also try to keep this 15 minutes. We're gonna also try to keep this to an hour. Right after this podcast, you can go check out the On the Tone podcast.
Oh yeah,
Dirty South Edition. They are
a lot of fun.
They're live on YouTube and Facebook also.
Yeah.
So go check that out. That was my original podcast. They took it over, and those guys are freaking hilarious. Love those guys. So, yeah, let's take some comments, questions in the chat before we bring. I started with a Teton a year ago. Now I'm up to 7 trucks of various styles. Now I'm broke.
Hey, this is kind of that support group. So just
exactly.
so you know, you're in a safe space.
I'm not. What's funny is I wasn't reading his haha at the end. I literally laughed right after I said, now I'm broke. This is what I tell people whenever I see that. Whenever I hear people say that, it's like, there's so much worse things to spend a crap ton of money on.
Absolutely.
This is a healthy, clean hobby. And we need I say we, I don't want to go gender specific, but people need an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And for me,
yeah.
I always need that. Like I have a very addictive personality. And man, like honestly, you could almost argue RC saved my life, because I could have went down a hill of like doing a lot of drinking or casino. Like I love casinos. I still go to casinos, but I played a lot of poker. But this is such a healthy, clean hobby. So don't feel bad.
And it's all inclusive.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, there's that RC for someone, you know, for everyone.
Right, exactly. You meet amazing people in the hobby. So be happy. And if you buy them right, you don't really lose a lot of money when you're ready to get out. People sell their collections all the time, and when you buy them right, they keep their value pretty good. Alex tells it like it is. He's a Patreon.
And an RC Box Club member.
And an RC Box Club member. Yo, yeah, if you haven't checked out RC Box Club, I'm not even a sponsor of this show.
Sorry.
They'll be a sponsor of a future show. But he says, your podcast is going to kick butt. Amazing work as always. And I'm visiting your state currently. I'm in El Paso. That is our state, but you're like 10 states away. Seriously.
You're about 12 hours away.
Be quicker,
and another time zone.
It would be quicker for me to go to Canada than to go to El Paso. But yes, you're in our state. And
hope you have fun. It is probly hot. I'm sorry about that.
Hot. Sorry about that.
But I think he's also from a very similar climate.
Oh, I think so. I think he's from Arizona. But big shout out, Alex tells it like it is. I know his son watches channel too. Shout out to his son. Thanks for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see. I see another one pop up. I like this. Best servo for A scale bashing. Now, this is a great question, because this is a question that I've been asking myself and I've been doing research on for the past week and a half. And I know that seems like a long time, but there's so many different options, right? Right now, and I'm going to keep this as unbiased as I can. And if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. For complete transparency, I'm sponsored by ProTech. I run ProTech servos in my race stuff. Now, bashing completely different. But right now, I think the best servo for A-scale bashing, best bang for the buck, has to be the Nitro Pro. Nitro Pro, I think it's the 500 FST or FNK 500. They have a $100 servo, all metal case, lifetime warranty on the gears. And I think that one's a 6-month no hassle warranty, meaning if you set your car on fire, you smash it with a hammer, he doesn't care. They're gonna warranty it. That servo is absolutely amazing for what you get. For the torque specs on that are like rated as high as some of the best like racing servos. Metal case, metal gears, that kind of warranty. And I can tell you right now, Nitro Pro, the owner of Nitro Pro, he's a friend of mine. Obviously, he responds to me because he's a friend of mine, but who will respond to anybody. You can get a hold of their customer service. I highly recommend that servo. You can save money also. I believe it's coupon code MSM. It's in any of my descriptions. Go check out that servo. It's definitely hands down the best A-scale bashing servo right now. Bang for the buck wise. So, whew. And that is not, I did not talk to Drew or Nitro Pro before this. He didn't say, hey, plug my servos or anything like that. That is coming truly from my heart. And again, I run for ProTech. I run ProTech 170 SBLs and all my race stuff. But I'm being honest with you guys. Right now, it's at Nitro Pro 500. I think it's FNK or FST, but it's their $100 option. So, Jeffrey, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Barry Rowe, my man. India can be a bash pit. Some of the best memories were, yes. I did some bashing at Indy, and I jumped my car into the roof. Barry might have jumped his car in the roof. I don't know officially what happens in the bash pit stays in the bash pit. But big shout out to Barry, good friend of mine. I met him through RC also, and I can consider one of my better friends right now that I truly
for now. I'm just kidding.
I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up with him, but like I met him through RC. And like if I want to go if I want to go grab a beer or something like that, I'm gonna give him a call. I've met several guys all through the hobby like that, and they're genuine dudes. Which, by the way, he's the one that I go to my Halloween.
And he's also a team manager.
Yep. Billy Crowe, what's up? Oh yeah, he's a team manager. Been broke for the last 3 years, thanks to Mark. Billy, I actually want you on the show soon because Billy is also like, you know what I like about Billy is he's always like, yeah, I bought it for Will.
I bought it for Will.
He didn't buy it for, he say he bought it for Will. His son is Will. Great racer, by the way. He did awesome.
Father, son, again, another team manager.
Yeah. But, you know, he says he bought it for, but I see it in his eyes. He wanted that RC car. He was excited about it. So big shout out to Billy Crowe. Thanks for the super chat. What we're going to do right now, we'll take a couple more questions. We're going to bring Josh in, but we're also
after we bring Josh.
After we bring Josh, yeah. We're gonna spin for the Patreon we call it the Patreon contest. Basically all my Patreons are entered into a contest to win an RC car or something cool for me every month, and I'm giving Mini B away. This one is used. Apparently I use it. It's unboxed. I don't know if there's any scratches on it, maybe a couple, but everything's in there. It's like new. Billy Crowe is also a Patreon, so he's going to be in this spin also, but I will continue to talk.
Or listen.
But we gotta hear the noise. I don't want to hear the noise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
like the noise.
You want me to mute it?
I mean...
So yes. Let's take some more questions.
Can we see the new NB 48 2.2?
Have I built it? Actually, I already have a video out on that. So go check that out. Freaking Brent. Yeah, I'm glad he split that. But yes, I have a video on it. Go check it out. I think it's called the latest and greatest race RC car right now. And right now it is. That sparked so many angry people were like, it is not the best. Honestly, it's the newest released one. It just won the national championship. Can you argue that it's not the best? It's gonna be a tough one to argue, but I do have a video out there already. Go check it out, and I am racing it this weekend. Oh, you gotta be kidding!
Awesome.
You gotta be kidding! The winner is Alex. Tells it like it is. He just commented, just super chatted, and he won the Mini B. We'll get this out to you. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it for.
And we have your address.
If you want to become a Patreon, any of my videos, I have a link in the description to become a Patreon. Again, it's one of those where you can reach out to me, ask questions. I'll respond to you within a couple of days. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't check it like super fast, but you will get a response from me. And any questions you have, anything I can do to help, I'm out there. And then I give you some sneak peeks on some of the things that I'm doing, a heads up on some of the new stuff. So Brent, he says, Mark, I need a purple MSM shirt. I'm glad he posted that because that purple MSM shirt is only an RC Box Club shirt.
Oh no, I think he's talking about yours.
No, he's talking about the one because he saw the one in the
gotcha.
In the flyer, then it's like a purple digi camo.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one, but the RC Box lady is sitting across from me, and I can't go in there and grab a shirt.
RCBoxClub.com. Okay.
But I'll check it out. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah.
Brent,
one last one, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring Josh in. I know he's anxious to get in because I mean, who doesn't love to talk about RC? So.
Exactly. Texas Oatmeal, man, he is the greatest painter of all time. He's my painter. He also had a YouTube channel. Then he stopped posting, which I don't blame you, man. It is tough. The YouTube world is tough. But it's big shout out to Mike, Texas Oatmeal. Go check out his channel. Thanks for super chat, bud. Don Hoskins. I always want to call him Dan Haskins, like the Saved by the Bell guy. But Don, thanks for super chat.
funny.
Also a Patreon. Appreciate all the support.
All right. Well, you ready to bring them?
Yeah, let's bring them in. Let's do it.
We don't have the music to build up the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But we're gonna have to do it for sure.
You're gonna leave him smaller.
Sorry.
There he goes. That is Mr. Josh. Josh, how's it going, bud?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
I gotta mute him. Oh, that sucks. Hold on.
A flaw.
A flaw. Hold
on.
Flaw. I have a solution to this.
Uh-oh.
I gotta go get.
Oh no! This is rookie. Oh my! How many years did he say he's been doing?
I'll be right back.
You know he can't hear him because if we put him on speaker, we hear Josh talk, then it'll create an echo, and will forever be an echo, a vortex of echo. So, anyways, he went to go get headphones because, we've done this before. So, welcome, Josh. I actually had the pleasure of meeting him at I know Mark said we're not going to talk about crawling, but we actually talked about what he does, and we'll get more into what he also does in regards to hobbies. But we met at the hike and crawl, which I don't know if you were at the last one, but I skipped out. That it was, I think they said it was like high 90s. So, okay, he's here. All right. Headphones save the day.
Yep, AirPods.
Okay.
AirPods.
All right, guys.
Hold on, wait. Let me make sure I can hear him. Hold on.
Hello, Mark.
There he is.
Well, now Mark's muted. You're muted, Mark.
Okay.
We're,
you hear me,
we're
Josh?
in live. We're
Yes.
live. We're here.
Right,
We've done this before, right?
All right. Woo. I'm sweating now. I got nervous. All right. So I think can everyone hear us okay now?
Okay.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
I can hear.
Have
Josh.
you done this before?
So whenever we do sound checks and everything, didn't even dawn on me because I can hear Josh through the computer, and I didn't even dawn on me that I needed the headphones.
Yeah.
All right.
You got your headphones.
But we're back. We improvised. We're back. Josh, thank you for joining the show today. Congratulations on being the first ever MSM RC Podcast guest, dude. This is gonna blow up. We're gonna have like thousands of live viewers, and you're on the very, very first one.
Heck yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
So, I kind of I don't know if did you hear my intro about how one of the reasons why it was so intriguing, I was so excited to have you on, because you had so many different RC cars every time we go out to drag race and you're driving. How long have you actually been in, and how did you get into the hobby in the first place?
I've been in the hobby about 1.5 years, and it started at a Texas Flashlight Club meeting when a buddy of mine brought his brushed 2-wheel drive Slash, and I was hooked. And then I bought a couple of WL Toys cars.
Wait a second. You said 1.5 years?
Yeah, 1.5 years.
You got a lot of cars back there for 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've been selling stuff too, so that's not even all the ones.
Yeah, dude.
This is the safe zone.
Including these, I've had a total of 22 cars in 1.5 years.
In 1.5 years?
Yeah, it's
man.
That's awesome.
That
awesome.
is freaking awesome, dude. So you said you did it at a flashlight meeting. I know that one of your other hobbies is flashlights. Like, I didn't even know that flashlights was a thing. But tell us a little bit about Texas Flashlight Club. Are you the one that started it? Like, how did you get into it? I know you're a major kind of an influencer in the flashlight world. I saw your website. You basically are the me of the flashlight world. Like, you do flashlight reviews and stuff like that. How'd you get into that? How'd that all get started?
I got into that. A buddy of mine at work brought a cool pocket knife, and I thought that was neat. And so I started looking at pocket knives, and that expanded into all the different stuff you might carry in your pockets everyday carry. And that got into flashlights. And then I just kind of honed in on flashlights, and I was like, man, these things are cool. And I bought a whole bunch of them, tried a bunch of different ones out, and I was real active online about it, and I had some thoughts. And so I was like, well, I'll start writing reviews of these things so I can have, a concise place with all my thoughts about these. and it just kind of exploded from there. And I posted a few, and companies started reaching out like, hey, we saw your reviews, do you want to, we'll send you a sample, do you want to let us know what you think about this new model? And yeah.
You have if you had to count how many flashlights you think you have, how many would you say you have?
Right now I have probably about 10. I don't
That's
like
it? You don't keep them?
No, I don't like keeping huge collections of anything. I love trying different stuff out. I mean, that's why I've had so many different cars, and now I've got 6. And I like trying a whole bunch of different stuff and finding the stuff that I like. And yeah, I've reviewed over 100. I've probably had another 25 lights that I just bought and then sold later on that it didn't end up on the website. And yeah, wow. I've only probably got about 10 right now. There's like 6 of them up right here and a few more around my desk. But yeah.
Well, so you have more RC cars than flashlights right now?
I have more flashlights than RC cars right now.
Oh, because okay.
These are all the RC cars I've got, is these 6 right here. Then there's some flashlights, and then there's like 5 or 6 more on my desk.
So your favorite RC car that you've ever owned, do you still own it?
Max.
And if you do, the Max.
100%. By far, favorite RC car I've owned.
Why? I mean, I know why, but tell me what makes it so intriguing and fun.
It's just so reliable, man. I mean, any other car, you take it out and you crash it wrong one time and it breaks and it's down for a week until your new part gets in, if your local hobby shop doesn't have it. But the Max, it just keeps going and going and going, man. And I can send it 20, 30 feet in the air, land on a corner, and it just drives away. And it just works. And it never overheats, and I can drive it anywhere. I can drive it on track. I can drive it in a dirt pit. I can drive it on grass in my backyard. I can drive it in the street in front of my house. Absolutely anywhere. It will go anywhere and do anything, and just take it.
I'm so glad that you said that, because when people ask me what, I want an RC car basher, one that I can drive, that's durable, my go-to is the Max. And the thing about the Max is, first off, the X Max is extremely durable and it's huge. Now they shrunk this thing down. It's a lot lighter.
Yeah.
And it's almost the same thing. It is an absolute tank. Now, for complete transparency, the first one I ever owned, one of the things I wish they did, I feel like it doesn't have enough suspension travel. With the Wide Max kit, it kind of fixed it a little bit, but I do feel like it slams down kind of early whenever you land flat or something like that. Have you done anything to kind of alleviate that? And what did you do?
So mine, it started as a version 2 with the Wide Max and the longer body. I actually converted it to a version 1 just so it looks a little bit more scale, or it looks a little more proportional. And I also, as soon as the Max Slash came out, like 1 or 2 days after, I called the Traxxas store and I got
those things,
little suspension risers that are in the back of the Max Slash, and I put those on my Max because I've got the V1 arms that'll fit. And man, it's nice now. And I think I've got 40 weight oil in there in all the shocks, stock springs.
So wait, the V2 arms won't work?
The Max Slash suspension risers will not fit the V2 arms unless you Dremel them a little bit.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Dang it. So that's why, because I remember talking to you about that.
You just take the little, I got a Reddit post all about it with pictures and everything. But there's a little bit of extra material on those riser blocks that slots around the screw holes in the arm on the version 1 and Max Slash arms. But there's material in the way on the V2 arms, so you have to cut out a little bit of the suspension riser block. Then it'll work.
Man, as soon as I saw those Max Slash little extension things, I was like, they need to put that on all the.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially in the rear, man. It's got so much weight in the rear, and it just slams down. And just putting those on made a huge difference to the way that it drives and lands.
So before you put did you put the V1 arms because of that, or did you really want?
No, I wanted a V1 chassis and V1 arms because I like the way it looks. I like the proportions of it. And
so you started with a V2.
Yeah, I started with a V2 and I moved it back to a V1 just because I just like it better. I think it looks cooler. I think it drives a little more monster trucky, you know. I didn't want a mini XRT that's going to be really stable. You know, I want something that's going to roll a lot and really bite in corners. And I also wanted a little bit more air control doing flips and stuff. And I mean, the chassis is like an inch shorter on the V1 and I get a little bit more air control out of it, a little more flips.
Man, I have two V1s, or I had two V1s, and I got rid of one of them because I was like, why would I ever want a V1 when the V2 comes out? And now you're making me second guess. Still have one brand new. I have the Solar Flare V1 Max, still brand new in box. But you're the first person I've ever heard that likes the V1 instead of the V2.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And you can, when you convert a V2 back into a V1, it's like 150, maybe $200 worth of parts.
But you need the chassis, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you do that, you have to run the 5,000. You can't run the 60. Because I think what's cool about the V2 is you can run the big old 6700s.
That's true. You have to run smaller batteries. I run Z 7,000 milliamp 4S packs, and they fit great. They're exactly the same size as the Traxxas 5,000 milliamp 4S.
Nice.
And those have been awesome.
So for me, like that bothered me with the V1 because I run the Traxxas, the 5,000 Traxxas packs, and literally the only car that battery makes sense for is the V1 Max, right? Because if you're going to do the X Max, it makes way more sense to get the 6700s. So when they released the V2, I was like, God, thank God. Now I don't have to, because I literally have two of those 5,000 Traxxas batteries, and I've used them maybe once.
It's just a weird size. The 6700 packs they're the same size as two of their 2S 7600 packs or two of their 3S 5000 packs put together, and so they fit in all the 6S trucks except the e-Revo. And it just slots right in. It's a lot. It really fits in a lot better with the rest of their lineup just to have that 6700 4S battery instead of the 5000.
So I see you have e-Revo down there. I know you had a sledge at one point. You sold the sledge and you kept the e-Revo. What was your
I sold the sledge to buy the e-Revo. I found that e-Revo brand new at my local hobby town. And they said that they would give me a deal on it because it had been sitting on the shelf for like 2 years. And I was like, okay. And then I went home and I was like, you know what? This sledge, it's been fun, but it's starting to have a few problems here and there. And it's just kind of clapped out. So I'm gonna sell it and grab the e-Revo while I can buy one brand new in the box, you know, because they've been discontinued for like 6 months. And so,
is that the blue one?
Yeah.
So you're not going to drive that? That one's going to be a shelf queen?
Oh, no. I've been bashing that thing. Yeah, man, I've broken 6 shock shafts on it. It's taken a beating. So.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Right out of the box, I think on the second bash session, I sent it a little too high, maybe 15, 20 feet in the air, and it just snapped both rear shock shafts in half. And
shocked the shaft, because I think those titanium. Aren't those the titanium night? Aren't they gold?
No,
or no, that
the 2.0 comes with non-anodized shock bodies and the non-coated shock shafts. But I don't think the titanium nitride coating adds any strength to the shock shafts. But I don't know why those first 2 broke. But after that, I broke 4 more in the rear, all on one side. And I think it was a mixture of possibly just jumping it too high and me not being great at putting the rod ends on, because I realized after I broke the 4th one, I'd been putting the rod ends on slightly crooked, and I think that
might be difference.
And
that's a weird break to me.
Yeah, no one else online had ever seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. That's weird.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, the rod ends pull off, you know, the drive shafts pop out, and your servos break, and I'm like, I'm not having any of those problems. My shock shafts are breaking in half. So yeah, it turned out to be a mix of user error and maybe the old non-coated shock shafts were weaker, because I've got the 10-coated shafts in it now, and they haven't broken or caused any problems. So,
well, I have whenever on the 2S vehicles, I replace on the Ultra Shocks, I'll replace all the stock shock shafts with the titanium nitride ones, and they don't bend. They're much stronger. So I don't know if it's just the coating alone.
Yeah,
but I
maybe,
really
maybe
believe
they
in the
harden
titanium.
them, heat treat them before they coat them too. That'd be nice.
That might be it also. So you have the eRevo, you have the Max. So one thing that I like seems to come up all the time for me. I won't tell you my opinion. I'll ask you 4S or 6S when it comes to bashers.
I mean, I like the Max better, and so I'm gonna have to say 4S. Out of all the vehicles I've tried, that's the one that's the most fun, and it's 4S.
Yeah, I think that 4S. I think there's so much advancement in the 4S power systems.
Oh yeah,
like there's so like you feel like you're driving a 6S, like the Mojave, the 4S Mojave.
Man, the Mojave 4S, yeah. between a Max, a Mojave 4S, and like a 8 scale 4S buggy, like a Corrali Synchro 4 or something like that. Man, you could have a really nice fleet all sharing these same batteries.
Seriously, and I really need to do it. I need to have. I know Brett. Brett with that races with us. I know he just got a sledge. I'm gonna go bring my Max out there, and we'll just do some pulls. I bet you they're very, very, very similar when it comes to speed. So yeah, I personally like 4S. I think when you start going like mega power, like 6S and up, that's when you really start risking braking stuff, drive shafts, things like that. I know that the cars now, especially sledges, built for that power system now.
Especially if you put a bigger power system than it's meant for. Like if you put an 8S system in a sledge or something, it's just going to be tearing itself apart all the time. Or people that put like the massive Hobby Wing 800 kV, Max 5 power systems in their X Max, and they're always breaking gears and stuff.
Yeah, I like that because I've never done it. It's intriguing to me, but that's why I haven't done it, because I feel like if I buy an X Max, I'm not buying it to go blistering fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess standing backflips are cool, but what I like about the X Max is it soaks up all the bumps. It's got plenty of, it's 8S, right?
Oh yeah.
It's durable. It looks cool. Like, that's why I like it. I don't feel like it needs to be faster. So that's why I haven't done it yet. But
yeah,
do you have an X Max? And if not, why haven't you bought an X Max? I feel like that's the one you need.
It's on my wish list, man. Just that initial cost. It's like, I don't know if I want to drop $1,100 on one car, but yeah.
I tell people,
so cool.
What I tell people about the X Max is, it might be $1,100. You might be right, but you can sell those things for $800-900 if they're. Obviously you drive your cars.
If I like it and I keep it, then I don't get that money back, man.
And the other thing about the X Max is there's nowhere to put it, dude.
Yeah,
like you're gonna have to build. You can get that now. They have the Traxxas the stand, right, that holds the.
Yeah, but then you gotta go buy a whole desk just to put the thing on.
Yeah, I store all mine kind of like standing up on their like vertical, basically, because they just take up so much freaking room. They're just massive, dude. Oh yeah, massive.
Yeah, if I get one, I'm gonna have to build some kind of shelf. Like it's not gonna fit on this thing.
No,
I'll have to build a whole other shelf for it.
And you would get a red one?
Oh heck yeah. Yeah.
Did you see
the thing that excited me most when they updated it was not the goofy overdrive gears. It was not the belted tires. It was the black and red body that didn't have that blue streak in the side of it anymore.
Yeah. You know me, I'm not the red guy. I typically go with the greens and the blues and the oranges, but every time I see the reds, I'm like, man, they look, even your drift car, your drag car is red. So
yeah, the only reason that eRevo is blue is because they don't make a red one. I've already got the clear body in my RC spreadsheet. And the Traxxas.
Wait. Go RC spreadsheet. You have an RC spreadsheet?
Oh yeah, I got it all organized, and it like all the part numbers with photos of all the parts and how much I put on each car. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Thing.
So what car is at the top of the list of the RC spreadsheet?
Like wish list?
Yeah, which one are you eyeballing next? Which one are you getting a little antsy to pick
Bandit XL5 HD? That new Bandit they just released with the extreme heavy duty kit and all that stuff on it. Because I just bought a Bandit when I didn't expect them to release a new one, because they'd all been out of stock forever. And so I bought like the last one the Traxxas store had. Then a week and a half later, they're like, oh hey, here's a new Bandit with Hex hardware, and extreme heavy duty kit and heavy duty arms and new body colors, and I'm like, well, gotta get one of those now.
I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be kind of embarrassing. I didn't even know they released one with an HD kit yet.
It was really, really quiet. All they did was update the website.
Really?
Yeah. They've done that with the. So you know how they released all those updated BL2S models with the HD kit and the BL2S power system and the clipless bodies and all that?
Yeah.
They've also put the HD kit and the clipless bodies on the XL5 models. And so now they have XL5 models with clipless and HD kit on them.
But the Bandit has a clipless body also now?
It does not. It's still
okay. I was about to say.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks. Now I got to figure out. Now I got to go pick up the new Bandit. One thing I've been wanting to do, which you'll probably like this, is I really want to see how fast I can get a BL2S, and the way I would do it is to put in a Bandit.
Oh yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna buy the Bandit, and I'm gonna keep the stock XL5 system around just for your MSM spec slash.
There you go. There you go.
The rest of the time, it's gonna have a BL2S in it, so I can rip it around a little bit and last longer and be just a little bit faster. I don't want Bandit VXL. I don't want to be going 70 miles an hour, but
yeah, you do. I'll let you drive my Bandit VXL, and I want you to try to tell me you don't want to go 70 miles an hour.
Man, I was just a couple of days ago. I was out drag racing with a couple of guys from the group, and one of them brought his Bandit VXL with the old Magnum 272, now the updated 272R, and so it had the open diff, and I think he blew up 2 or 3 tires.
If it diffs out
that one night, yeah.
If it diffs out and you stay on the throttle, it will explode that other tire. That other tire that's not going to diff out. But people probably don't know this. It is probably the most stable speed car you can. Like, it is incredibly stable. Like, I couldn't believe it when I first drove it. I was like, this is like, if you get the tire situation figured out, which there's obviously options, the Bandit is an awesome speed vehicle.
Oh yeah, and they just handle really nice right out of the box, regardless. Man, that XL5 Bandit that I had, it just drove so well. I took it to Indy. The suspension setup right out of the box was fabulous for on the track.
Box stock, like we have obviously box stock at the MSM Spec Slash series. Everyone wants one. It's like for a while they went out of stock. Like, it was hard to get them. And now I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of them. But like you said, right out of the box, you'll be mega surprised when you put that thing on the track. You can definitely do laps with that thing.
Yeah,
just straight out of the box.
The tires have the grip for it, and man, it was just the right amount of power too. Like, I was able to start accelerate, pin the throttle right before jumps, and it just sailed and landed so smoothly. It's so easy to drive on track. You don't have to worry about being super precise with the throttle, and it's going to push like crazy if you're on the throttle, and so you're not going to spin out or anything. That's just so nice to just take it to the track and run some laps, man. So easy to drive right out of the box.
So you keep talking about driving around the track. I'm going to ask you something. I want you're not going to hurt my feelings, and I think it's important that we all know. I don't see you race. What keeps you from actually racing RC?
It's the cost.
Really?
Cost. It's mostly cost. I mean, Indy's got their electric races on Tuesdays. I could make that if I wanted to, but I feel like it's $25 a week just to go race. That's a little much when I could be putting that money towards, upgraded parts or even just replacement parts for stuff sometimes. And I have lots of other opportunities to go hang out with, people in the area that like RC cars, just to hang out and drive and bash. And I can do that for free. And so I haven't gotten into racing yet. I've got a transponder for the MSM.
That's one of the most expensive things.
Yeah, I got a deal on a transponder, and so I'm ready to give it a shot. And who knows? Maybe after that I'll be hooked and I'll be at Indy every Tuesday for Electric Tuesday. But we'll see.
But I think that's what, like, the basher life or basher culture, whatever we want to say, I think that's what it's all about. Like, even for me, like, I obviously I race, but I truly have just as much fun, like, when we're after drag racing and we're doing tandem backflips and like just sending it. And one thing I really like about it is fun, and we can do it for hours. But when we're done, we go grab a bite, we go hang out, we go home. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we have to go and make sure our car's prepped for tomorrow. I get it. Some people like that kind of stuff,
right?
Or you don't have to wake up really early next morning to catch your next race. Like I like the fact that you can have fun with RC and it not take up all the time in the world, because racing can be time consuming. But yeah, to your point, yeah, I personally, like, I don't think about the cost of racing as much, because the way, like, obviously my business is RC, so that's kind of like a business expense for me when I go racing.
Yeah.
But you're right, especially if you were to go race. Let's say you want to go race and you don't want to race one class, so you want to race two classes. That's dang near $50,
right?
To go racing, and that's not even like bringing up tires and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I totally get it, dude.
What it's all about for me now is just hanging out with other people that are into the hobby, man. Because it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be in my backyard running laps with my Max and my buddies Slash, or I could be out racing drag slashes with you guys. Or I could be at the track, racing. And I've been to Indy and done some just like fun, okay, guys, 3, 2, 1, go type races, just on practice days. And I have the same amount of fun regardless. And
I love that. I dare anyone to say that has an RC car that they've never done a 3, 2, 1, go race.
Oh yeah,
everyone's done 3, 2, 1, go races.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just like, okay, do I want to spend $25 or $50 to go have X amount of fun, or do I want to go do that for free? And
yeah. Now I will say the advantages to that, and what you will get, and where that $25 does make sense, is if you want to start racing, like, you have to get on the stand and race competitively in a program in order to get kind of those nerves worked out.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing that's overlooked a lot is, like, for me, even if I go racing and I just run the qualifiers and not the mains, it's like doing practice. Like, when you go to the track and practice, if you flip over, a lot of times there's not a marshal out there, right? There's not a marshal out there to flip your car over. But when you're actually racing a race program, obviously there's always a marshal on track to flip your car over. So you can really dedicate your concentration on doing laps and picking up speed, things like that. And you also get to see what other people are doing to go faster. So on the flip side, it can be expensive, but there is a major advantage and a major, like, basically a step up,
for sure,
and a perk for racing in a program like that. So, even, like,
yeah, if you're into the competition and you're into all the precise tuning and everything, it's fantastic. I'm just more of a basher. I like hanging out with people.
Yeah. That's one of the things that has kept me in racing, and obviously bashing now. Like before, like now, and we're fortunate, Josh, like the fact that we have the DFW bash and crash or whatever. Like, we have groups here that meet up and do bashing. A lot of people don't have that.
Right.
Unfortunately, there are some areas that they seriously, you just got to find somebody, right? But that's one of the things that kept me into racing, because for a long time we didn't have that group of bashers, and that camaraderie that you have in the pits, hanging out with people that share the same interest. That's really what it's all about for me. And
for sure, yeah.
And for racing too. But again, now we're lucky because we have a bashing group.
Yeah, if I weren't in an area with a bunch of RC people that are just ready to go hang out at the drop of a hat, and going to the track was the place to go hang out and make connections and spend quality time with people, then that'd be what I'm doing, man. And that'd be more than worth the money.
Heck yeah. And now, like, we have MSM drag racing, we have the moonlight crawlers, we have the bash and crash, and I need to go to more bash and crash events. That seems like we have the hobby towns in our area. They're very active in bringing people together and doing back. Like, we are fortunate in this DFW area to have that. But if we didn't have that, like, the only way to get that is at the track. Like, that's where you would get that kind of camaraderie. But yeah, I've always been curious about that, and I guarantee you every race organization, every track is curious about why people don't just come and race. Usually the answer is they're intimidated. You don't seem like a guy that would be intimidated. So that's why I ask. All right, so we're at the 50-minute mark. I think we're gonna do the giveaway so we're giving away something really cool from CowRC. We're gonna be giving away the large maintenance pack. I think the retail for the large maintenance pack It's somewhere like $200. It comes with a whole bunch of stuff. It comes with a pit mat, all this stuff. We're going to be giving that away to one of you live listeners right now. The way to be entered in that, unfortunately, there's not a way for us to do it on... Actually, there is. We can do it on Facebook. And yeah, the way to be entered in that is we're gonna post up a hashtag that you got to comment on the live feed, and you'll be entered in, and then we'll do a spin. And that person has to prove you have to be in the continental U.S. We can't ship chemicals elsewhere. I mean, we can, but it just doesn't make cost sense. So you have to be in the continental U.S. and you have to be able to prove that you are the owner of the YouTube channel that won. And then Melissa's gonna.
Yeah, and that's just basically going into your account.
Yep.
As if you're gonna modify or edit anything, and so you just take a screenshot of that and mail it. And so yeah, we'll put the instructions in the chat box. So, but before we get to that. Definitely want to say thanks to Josh for hopping on. I love learning more about different types of hobbies. So it's really cool when, I feel like for a lot of people who pick RC tend to like hobbies. So they have other hobbies. So it's really cool to learn that. So Josh, real quick, before we leave you or you leave us, can you give us your website, your YouTube? Where can everybody find you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. My website is tgreviews.com. That's where all my flashlight reviews are. That's where the page for the Texas Flashlight Club is, if anybody wants to come hang out. And I'm really active on Reddit, and my Reddit username is TacGriz, TACGRIZ.
And if you see people bashing Mark Senmery on Reddit, can you get my back on there? Because those guys are pretty hardcore. I've Googled my name before, and on Reddit they were like, "Can you believe this guy?" I'm like, they make so many random accusations on there. I'm like, what? Where do people
get? Guys, y'all have no idea what you're talking about. Stop talking bad about my friend. Come on now.
Oh man, but yeah, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll definitely see you soon. Make sure you bring something to bash next time, because next drag race event, because I'll bring my ramp too. We can do what we should do is we should set them going not directly at each other, but we can do backflips across. Dude, that would be sick.
Oh, absolutely. Almost like synchronized swimming, but synchronized jumps.
Yeah, and then I want to do an event, like a bash event, where we actually have like judges and like contests, like bash.
Oh, it's coming.
Contests. Oh yeah,
it is.
Don't want to spoil it, but
yeah,
it is coming.
It's coming. So thanks, Josh. You can hang out in the back room. You can log off. I mean,
thanks for joining.
Do what your heart desires, but we thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. This was a blast.
Awesome.
Bye. All right, so Josh is still here. He's just in the back room, but if you want to find him, hopefully you wrote down all of his info. We'll have it in the description once this goes posted. So be sure to follow him. And yeah, we're about to do a giveaway. So if you want to go ahead and explain it, I'll bring up the pretty giveaway tool here, because people are asking if you go to Facebook or.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna do 2 giveaways. You gotta be on YouTube to do this. If you don't, it's free to watch on you. You literally just go to YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, and you should be a subscriber anyway. So go to my YouTube channel, and in the live feed, there's a comment section. Like, you can comment on the live feed. I want you to comment hashtag CowRC rules. You can see the hashtag there. And then
I'm gonna start it now.
Yep, go ahead. You can start it now. So comment CowRC rules. That's how you get entered. And when we get to, we got 150 people on now. Let's say when we get to 110, 120.
Yeah, let's just feel, I think 111.
Let's feel it out.
You know how I am about repeat numbers.
Yeah, let's feel it out on how many. We'll stop somewhere in that area, the 100-ish area, and then we'll draw.
Yeah, but we got 147. We can make this happen really quick.
Now, the cool part about this is if you're listening, if you just tuned in to listen, because I'm going to put these on like a Podbean or something like that, a podcast thing. I might even be able to put them on Spotify.
On Spotify, yep, it'll go there.
You can basically listen to this, go to my YouTube channel and watch. You don't have to watch. I mean, I would like you to watch the whole live feed, but you can comment on the video, because this is going to be a video on YouTube for the people who weren't able to watch it live. We're going to draw. What day did you decide to draw?
Monday.
Monday.
So
we'll draw
July
Monday.
22nd.
So if you go watch this live feed on YouTube and comment in the comments hashtag CowRC rules, you will also be entered to get the cleaning maintenance pack, which is, I think it's $100 value by CowRC. You have to be in the continental US. but we'll draw someone on Monday that comments on the actual video, not in the live feed. So technically you could enter both, but go to the video after we end this live feed.
So the video cannot be live and comment.
Can't be live and comment.
If you're commenting right now, you're chatting with us, which means you are not commenting on the video because it's live.
Right.
So once this goes posted,
the guys that are watching not live can. I know that's confusing. The people who are watching live get to win the big maintenance pack, which is an awesome freaking maintenance pack.
Yeah.
There's already 77 people that have entered. But if you can't catch it live, you will also be able to enter to win something, which is a cleaning pack. So big shout out to CowRC. Man, their cleaning stuff just kills it.
I know. I've taken some of the things and Mark's like, you might not want to clean that with that, you know?
Yeah, like I caught Melissa cleaning like the cow moo clean. I caught her cleaning our kitchen sinks with it. I was like, I ended up messaging my guy at CowRC. I was like, is that safe? He's like, eh. So we stopped doing that. But it's my favorite thing are the CowRC wipes, which I believe both of the packs that we're giving away are going to have those that are called the hide wipes. They're just so convenient. Yeah. Like if I'm sitting there working on something, wrenching on something, I see like a greasy part, I pull a CowRC wipe out and wipe it down, and it gives it a nice clean shine. But the way I use CowRC stuff, the main ones that I use the Moo Clean if I have to do some deep cleaning. And then I don't even use a generator anymore. I use the Jet Blaster. I use the big Jet Blaster. I think it's called the Jet Blaster Pro. Someone tell me what it's called. I know Barry has one, but it's the bigger, stronger Jet Blaster. God, I think it's
somebody said, is it like dude wipes? Dude wipes is like sanitary wipes, right?
It's like men's doo-doo wipes, diaper wipes, or whatever. I think it's the Max Jet Blaster Max or something. Anyways, it's the bigger one.
Say that 3 times.
No, I can't. But yeah, I basically just blow off my car, blow the dust off, hit it with some Moo Clean, let it soak for a little bit, blow it off again, clean off whatever dirt it didn't get off, and then I hit it with the green Moo Slick. Guys, it looks brand new again. That's how I clean my car. So all that stuff's awesome. They also have really good like pit mats and things like that. All the pit mats that you see in most of my videos, I say most of them because some videos don't have pit mats, are CowRC pit mats, extremely durable, easy to clean. I love all their stuff. So go check it out.
That's cute. I like that. Air mover.
Yeah, and go check. They come out with new stuff all the time. I'll typically do reviews on everything or show you guys everything if you follow my channel. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Guys, I had a blast. We're right at an hour. This worked out perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better first pilot episode.
It was pretty good, and I actually really enjoy being behind the scenes. I've told you that.
Is it weird? Like, tell me, guys, is it weird that you can't see Melissa,
but you hear a voice? Or is it?
Because I've seen some podcasts. Because
regardless, I'm not going back on.
Yeah, she's not going back on. But like, is it weird or is it is it normal? Because I've seen some podcasts where I don't see the producer, which is cool. But I like the fact that Melissa's, doing all the stuff that I want to. Oh, Doug says, yes, it's weird.
Doug, whose side are you on?
We're already at 100.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and, just to cover bases. Somebody did ask, is it case sensitive? I truly don't think it is, but just to cover your bases one last time, if you want to do a hashtag, all caps, CowRC rules. I think there's several people in the comments and Mark himself that can confirm CowRC does rule. So, and they actually are a MSM team sponsor. So
yes, that's right. Yeah. So the MSM team is sponsored. They got MSM team's got a whole bunch of sponsors. If you're on the MSM team, you're getting hooked up. But don't come to me about the MSM team because I don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, that's me.
That's Melissa, and that's the MSM team manager. That's your Barry, your Billy Crowe. We're still looking for more managers. So go. Okay, so
all right, where are we at?
102.
102.
Do you want to wait for
104.
A special number?
Come on, 104.
I like it. 104.
104. Who's gonna be lucky? 103 and 104.
There's 103.
Melissa be a potato. Man, I wish we could bring that app back. So it was an app,
but it kills your computer.
Yeah.
My God, like freezes it up.
Mel's like our conscious. I like that.
She's totally like our conscious. Oh man.
In my writer's group.
Also, there's 104. You can go and spin it.
All right,
also,
let's do it.
If you have any suggestions on people that you want me to, bring on the show, let me know.
Yeah. I mean, they got to go through me first, but
right. Please
don't
be Jake. Please don't be Jake.
No, I didn't even see Jake on.
Please don't.
Oh, hey, Dan.
You know what?
Dan is the man.
I don't think he's.
I mean, many of y'all are the man. I'm just saying, like,
Dyslexic Dog has been a follower. Like, I think he was on the first ever live feed.
that's
No
awesome.
joke. I don't think he's ever won.
You know what? I don't think.
We've had
think
like
he
literally
has.
probably like 30, 40 episodes of the other MSM, like just me and Melissa hanging out, Mark and Mel. He's
taking a screenshot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you won, Dan.
Congrats. All right. So to make it a little bit less complicated, now what's going to happen is we're going to wrap up. And then once this is no longer live,
once it's no longer live, it will
be
open
on
up the
YouTube.
option. It will open up the option to comment on the video. And at that point, you can enter them. So if you're listening after, again, you watch the podcast, you're watching it tomorrow, you're watching it Saturday, Sunday, you can still enter in another giveaway where we're going to give away a maintenance cleaning pack. But the large, awesome cleaning pack is only for our live viewers. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I had a blast. Make sure you go check out On the Tone, The Dirty South. They're going live right now. They're probably waiting for me to end before they go live. Those guys are awesome. They talk all about racing. If you're into racing, go check that out. But guys, till next time, we're going to do this every third Thursday of the month unless something happens. But tell your friends, RC Bashing Podcast. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.
Bye.